Hi everyone, Ben here. I'd just like to take a moment to thank some of our patrons. Brian Carras, Brittany Shaw, Katerina, Laura Hill, Patrick Schneeweis, Mary S., David Hicks, Jeremy McCaddy, Muriel Rousselon, Luke Alexander Bertram Morton. Thank you all. We really appreciate your support. If you'd like to join them, go to www.patreon.com/Rusty Quill and take a look at our rewards.
Hello and welcome to episode 79 of the Rusty Quill Gaming Podcast. I'm your host and GM Alex Newall, and with me today I have
James Ross,
Bryn Monroe,
Lydia Nicholas,
and Meredith.
And who are you playing?
Sleepy baby dragon.
Sasha Racket.
Grizzop, drik, Acht, Amsterdam.
And everything's still fine?
Everything's, it's pretty good. I think we beat the bad guy, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I just got paper injuries to the hand.
There is an elephant in the room, or more or
Dead
less,
elephant.
An elephant has died and
Big white elephant.
and won't be
Big
coming
white
back.
dead elephant.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, elephants are noble, sympathetic beasts, though, so...
Elephant in perpetual musk.
Oh, no.
So, it is worth addressing now. Would you like to give the news, James?
So I am taking an extended sabbatical from the podcast.
No.
For the best reason possible, though, which is...
I've got a lovely baby. I need
Yes.
to look after my lovely baby.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
And bring it up to be the opposite of Sir Bertrand.
Basically, yes. You see this, Thomas? Don't. That's my main parenting advice.
It's like how you are the opposite of Batman is one of the cruelest insults you can give.
Oh!
You are the opposite of Sir Bertrand MacGuffingham is one of the greatest
Thank you
compliments.
so much.
Yeah.
The opposite of Batman is a really good thing. What, you're a really functional member of society, you've got strong family
yeah.
bonds. You contribute not to vigilantism and punching random strangers in the face, but to sustained and inclusive, supportive improvement of
Sure, if
society
you're
in
going
general.
to analyse
Maybe if you actually invest in the
culture.
community rather.
Yeah, just do that.
I don't know, he's a controlling... Hey, we're getting off topic.
True.
So, nonetheless, yeah, Bertie has died, and James will also be missing. What that does mean, though, of course, is that there will be massive ramifications, but we wanted people to know it's not a case of your character dies and you leave forever.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I was left in a room
let's
with
all
a
vote.
pearl-handled revolver with a single bullet in it, but I found a way out of that
Do you
situation.
have any idea how expensive it is to get a poster that's the size of a room that says, do the right thing?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, as it stands, yeah, this is going to be James's final recording with us for the foreseeable. That's a
Yes.
better way of putting it.
Till the child is 18.
Yeah, once Thomas
Ready to inherit
to
the
university,
throne.
you'll be back.
Yeah, he's pretty gifted, so I'll be back in a
About
couple of
12
years.
years.
Yeah. The only reason he's not at Cambridge right now is due to a chronic shortage of wet nurses in Michaelmas term. So we're kind of all right, really.
Oh, God.
But nonetheless, I think it's time we start examining the ramifications of everything that happened. So it's worth bearing in mind that obviously if you're playing games yourself, you can just re-roll the character, etc., and get them in as someone else.
Yes.
But,
I mean, much
Yeah.
as we did with Zolf.
I mean, yeah, we've already done it with Zolf and
And
Grizzop, but
I did have a couple of ideas for backup characters that would have come in, but I'm just not going to use those backup characters.
sure. So as it stands, James is going to be gone for the foreseeable.
Was the death predetermined then?
So the thing is that I actually, with James, knew that James was going to have to be taking this sort of sabbatical and, going off and looking after, like, a human life.
So I actually knew as well, but I didn't realise it was happening so soon.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
So
Not
what
emotionally
it came
prepared.
down to was realising that, yes, basically Bertie's going to have to be gone for potentially ever, probably not, but I don't know. I can't see that far in the future. But yeah, we knew, and then it was
We only
more,
see 3 to 4 months into the
and it was more a discussion of the how, whether it was a death, whether it was something else. I mean, equally, Bertie could have just spontaneously decided he really wanted to move to Antarctica. He'd still be gone, but it wouldn't have made much sense. So
I'm going out for a side quest. I may
I mean, even in the episode, there are a bunch of different ways he could have gone.
Sir Bertrand MacGuffingham's the thing. He literally is. Carry on.
but yeah,
This writes itself. Yeah, carry on.
as it stood, I knew that Bertie was going to have to be gone. And I also knew that you were about to go up a really really, really powerful NPC. So the likelihood is he was going to die.
Particularly if
Well, he
Bertie goes
basically
alone.
He basically one-shotted Hamid. I mean, Hamid's not dead, but he was removed from the fight.
Yeah,
by
we
a
are
single
skipping
spell.
past as well, like the fact that Hamid is as messed up as he's ever been.
And we need to find him.
You're currently not even aware that he's a thing.
Yeah. And the only witness to that, or both witnesses to that, have died.
The entire
And
audience.
the entire auditorium.
Oh, all right. Maybe there's a few, but our leads are, they're slimming down. So.
So I am going to pick up where we went off. Obviously, James will be here for the rest of this episode, etc. But
Hello. I'll be comparatively quiet.
you get to just focus on the funnies
All right.
and not the bigotry, which was 50% of brain power being wasted on being horrible.
It's only my lizard brain that's required for the bigotry. Like, you don't actually... That's
You never know,
reflexive.
there might-
It requires intellect to unlearn that.
There might be a flashback to Rag Week or something.
Oh, maybe.
Who knows? So I'm going to pick
This
up.
is specifically what my death was worse than. But only just worse than.
So I am going to pick up after a little bit of time has passed. Okay? Enough time for the rioting, panicked crowd to have vacated the auditorium. Because no one wanted to stay. It's not like you could tell security to go in there and deal with this. No one wanted to stay.
Grizzop's priority is finding the soprano that he flung across the room and obviously hurt
Sure.
really badly.
So, basically you are held up by the massive rush of people, etc. However, we are skipping ahead to the auditorium is now empty. As it stands, the only people who are in it so far, this is a temporary state, are Sasha, Grizzop, presumably the remains of Hamid, all of his stuff that's there, the soprano, who we'll deal with in a second, and there is no trace whatsoever of Kafka. But there are the papers all over the place, which are now dull and lacking in that sinister vibe. So first things first,
Is Bertie still floating?
Bertie is not floating.
No.
He is face
Smashed to the
down.
ground.
He fell to the ground. He only
Guys, we need to steal all his stuff and sell it. It's worth loads of gold.
It's what he would have wanted.
so
It isn't, but he would understand.
Bertie is face down in the middle of the stage. Actually alone because Kafka was erased and the soprano was off into the side. So I'm going to deal with Grizzop first. Grizzop heading to the soprano.
Yeah. I'm going to race over. I'm going to attempt a heal check to stabilise her. If she's unconscious and bleeding out. That's a 9. Having screwed that up.
It's really obvious to you that she's dead.
Oh, she's just dead.
She's dead. The impact killed her.
Ah.
She hasn't been particularly maimed. It's nothing grossly disgusting, but nonetheless, she has a broken neck. She is dead.
I'll close her eyes and say, sorry. And leave her.
The corpse says nothing.
I would be concerned if it did.
It's
I
been
think
it
I'm slightly
has
surprised.
it
It's a
has
good-
been
it's a
one
good
of
sign.
those
It's a
days.
good
It
sign.
has been a zombie
I think
apocalypse.
you're fine. If you remember a few episodes back, we came up with a funeral prayer for the followers of Artemis.
Oh no, that's not a standard prayer.
All
That was
right,
just Grizzop,
Improvising.
He was riffing. He's not very good at it.
Yeah.
Sasha, onto you. What are you doing?
She staggers, but she's still very fast staggering. Staggers at about most people's running pace.
You're
Over
probably
to-
actually akin to a zombie at this point if
Yeah.
you're staggering.
over to Bertie and kicks him in the head. Only very.
Yeah, of course.
Bertie, where's Hamid? What have you done? Where's Hamid? Bertie, wake up! We don't have time for this. Bertie
Bertie says nothing.
kicks him again. Bertie, come on!
the best
It
line
worked
Bertie's
last
ever said.
time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it literally did wake him up. From
Yeah.
unconsciousness last time.
It has worked before.
Kicking him in the head was the right thing to do mechanically. Several previous occasions. Try. She's one-handed right now, so can't even turn him over.
You could
but,
struggle, but you would be able to turn him over eventually.
With-
It's just a struggle.
If only there was some talking thing on his person that you could ask all the relevant questions to.
turns that over. Bertie, shaking.
His visor is up
Oh.
because he's been talking and nodding his head and all this other stuff. His visor is up. His face is blued, the blue that you can only get from suffocation.
Blue-blooded.
His eyes are
Yeah,
open
scratching.
and glazed.
Oh dear. I think we need a healer.
Hey? All right, yeah, no.
I mean, he looks a bit. Bertie,
I'm going to scamper over. Heal check.
Bertie.
You don't need to.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, what did you roll for the heal check?
I rolled 14.
14.
Yeah.
You know the manner of his death.
So suffocation.
Specifically magical, where it wasn't that he was like drowned or anything. Like they just took the air
Okay.
and left him without it.
No, he's gone.
Still got his graces though.
Hey.
Thank you.
I regret this already.
Thank you.
But he died without heirs.
That's
Yeah, that was the hashtag.
was that?
Hashtag that's the joke.
no heirs with an H.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
come on.
Hashtag that isn't the joke.
He died with no.
That left me breathless.
Oh.
Oh, just choking on that one. That's just literal, though. Literally.
Laughing in the face of grief.
Yeah, it's dark humour.
Sorry, he's dead. He looks like Kafka nicked the air.
Now who's going to tell us what happened to Hamid? I mean, a shame he's dead.
Well, yeah, what did happen to Hamid? All his stuff's over there.
I mean,
Grizzop.
Hamid wouldn't leave his clothes if someone wasn't really wrong.
In fact, you know what? I'm not even going to get a perception check. The auditorium is still empty and echoing quiet after all of the kerfuffle. His clothes are not discarded. They are completely, like, rent. They are torn. It looks like something maybe ate him. Like, there are the remnants of what might have been some of his stuff. It's not like his clothes are just to the side.
Then none of his magical items are there apart from the bracelets.
Yes.
He might have been eaten.
By what?
I don't know, zombies.
Oh,
They've done it quite clean.
I'll do a perception check on his pile of codes.
Give me a perception check.
16.
16. Do either of you have survival?
You'd think so.
no.
You're an Artemis Hall of Artemis without survival.
Bertie definitely doesn't at this point.
Yeah.
Carry on.
All right,
Bertie failed his survival check.
Sasha.
Critical fail.
Sasha's gonna. Okay, the sword. The sword. It's a talking sword. The sword can tell us.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
Gonna grab it, then realise that my hand is a bloody mess because it's taken 12 damage. Do I still have all my fingers?
Yes, but
Don't
because
have
it was
use of the
it was crushed. You have no use of your hand until you get it sorted
Hang
out.
on a minute.
I'll grab your hand.
Ooh,
Lay on hands.
Lay on hand. Lay on handshake.
1 second. 1 second. You lay on hands.
Yep.
Roll the healing.
8.
You take 8 damage.
Right, so I was on 9. Now I'm on 1.
Lucky I didn't roll very well.
Ow! Why did you do that?
That's supposed to help.
What? No! That.
Why didn't that help?
You
That's supposed to
damn
help.
it.
That only doesn't work on
Oh
undead.
my god!
Are you a zombie?
No! Do I look like a zombie?
You're definitely acting like
She
a zombie.
looks super messed up on 1 hit point.
That should help.
Ah!
You've got a problem.
Yeah, the problem seems to be you right now.
That is supposed to help. That is all right. Unless I do it to a zombie or a vampire or some form of ghoul,
right.
it usually works.
2 days ago, I had a whole team, and now I've got you.
All right,
and I'm on one hit
okay,
point.
all right.
Wait, and I'm messed up right now.
Well, have a healing potion. Does that work? Is it just me?
I don't know. Has it ever happened before?
Here, read these medical manuals. We'll try again in a
I
couple of
swear
minutes.
this is the first time this has ever happened. It's never happened with anyone else.
Look, all right, I might have a mild case of slight bad resurrection. So
Oh dear.
I just
All right. Okay. Well, you're not dead, and
barely.
well, yeah, but you're not, and that's important.
Give
I'm
me
like
a
crouching on the floor.
The soprano's dead, by the way.
Oh dear, that was Hamid's sister.
Give me a perception check.
Well, 25.
25. Grizzop, get in on this.
Oh, yeah, sure. I've run really badly. 13.
That
11. even.
That's good. I probably would have seen into my soul and killed it.
Sasha,
Yep.
you thought it was over. You really thought you dealt with everything. The zombies are gone, the pages are gone, Kafka's apparently gone. There's an inhuman howl from the rooftops above you.
Oh, there's something else.
No, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
You didn't hear that.
Oh, there's something on the roof. There's
What?
something screaming on the roof. It's probably one of his little demon things.
All right. Shall I go take a look?
You know what? I'm gonna find out where I'll takes her functioning hand and holds the Bertie's sword thing. It's like, what happened to Hamid?
Oh, hi, how are you? How's things?
Really awful right now. Like, I am about as ill as I feel like I've ever felt, apart from the times that I was blasted through a wall.
I mean, you sound terrible. Is he dead? I'm assuming he's dead.
Hamid? What?
What? No, the Bertie.
Oh, yeah. No, he... I should be probably more...
Did he have a
upset.
son?
He's really tactically useful.
Did he have a son?
Not that I know of.
Oh, great. Okay.
No, I don't think it's likely, given his romantic inclinations.
Fantastic.
Okay, cool.
So, right. So, what was the question? Sorry, I'm kind of dealing with a lot right now.
You're dealing with a lot.
You have no idea.
What happened to Hamid? We need to find our mate.
Oh, Hamid. Yeah, he went. He got turned into something and then ran off.
Oh, the inhuman scream is probably Hamid.
Okay, shall I go get him?
What? I mean, I ain't really up to much right now.
All right, well... Okay, yeah, I'll go.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Look, mate, I'm just pouring blood out of one hand.
Blood, what I'd give for some blood right now.
Would you like some?
So people could see how much trouble I'm in.
Like, I am not well right now.
Oh, you're fine.
Are you any good at, what, resurrection spells? I mean, for me, not Bertie, although I suppose you could...
No.
Do you do... No.
I'm really good at cutting things. That's sort of my bag. Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to cut to Grizzop.
Sure.
So you've set off up?
Yeah, said going to the thing on the roof.
Just really, really not in the headspace to, like, help that logically. So, it's up there.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Scamper off.
Soon enough, you can hear again. It takes a while. Then there's another howl and so on. And it's definitely coming from the roof. And it's fairly easy for you to just... You keep going up and you make your way eventually to a rooftop.
Sure. So I've got my... an arrow knocked in my bow, not drawn. And I approach the source of the...
You step out onto the rooftop. And as you're walking across the rooftop, there's a faint patter of rain. However, the cloud cover is very broken up, and it's probably going to be a fairly sunshiny day coming up tomorrow.
Gonna be.
Yeah. So there is distinct movement from the opposite end of the roof, which is sort of gently sloping in order to accommodate the massive auditorium and so on. Give me a perception check.
That is a 12.
12. The creature is at the opposite end of the roof. That's all you can really discern at this point.
It's looking out over the city and doing a weird sniffing of the air thing, and it occasionally howling.
So I just say it was a parrot.
It turns to face you.
You are able to recognise Hamid's features in there.
Okay, sure. I'm going to use handle animal.
That's appropriate because his int is so low.
Right, well, I'll roll and then do it. This is a trash D20.
Roll good. Roll good.
I mean, it's still 11.
If only someone with a really good handle animal skill was still around.
I've got +7.
If only someone with a really good handle animal skill was still around.
You talk a lot for a dead man.
Bertie says nothing.
I rolled a sense motive check, but I failed.
Ah, okay.
So you've tried to calm the beast, and the beast has failed to sense what you're trying to do.
It's being very wary of you. Okay. It's kind of backing off, snarling, growling.
All right, easy, Hamid. Hamid, all right, do you recognise Hamid? You're horrible. Right, how about, what did he like? Food?
All right, I'm going to get some rations.
Ration? Oh, that's never going to work, Grizzop. Right. I'm going to
What is this? I demand lobster.
I'm going to allow you to go handle animal, but you'll have a penalty because it's rations.
Yes. So, hand out palm flat.
All right.
Just holding it there. 20.
Fail my sense motive again.
It's up to you.
I
trust you to play true to your stats. You always have before.
I sort of approach, and then I back off again.
No, it's fine. Look, I'll put it down.
I'll pop the ration down and back off.
Oh, for flavour, can it be candle mint cake?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, of course it is.
Hamid again scrabbles up to it, sniffs at it, takes a bite, sort of chews, and then backs off again.
All right, they're definitely Hamid.
Yeah. Mint cake's delicious.
Yeah, well, I can take you somewhere that'll make you better. If you can understand this, you probably can't. How about we go on a walk? You like walkies? Walkies?
Problematic.
So problematic.
There's no recognition or understanding in the creature's eyes. It's calmed down very slightly, but it's not approaching you.
Your teacher always said you should have bothered more with the animals.
Crack my knuckles.
You never spent enough time with them.
Knock the bow.
I'll do this way I know how then.
Fire at Hamid.
Okay.
I'm aiming at his limbs, trying to disable him.
Are you aiming for non-lethal damage?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I figured as much. Roll the attack. You'll be taking a minus... Ooh, I think it's a -4 in order to deal non-lethal with a lethal weapon.
Okay. I'm only at +6. Do I hit on an 18 and do I hit on a 16?
Hamid, you have all of your AC stored.
Yeah. Only the 18 hits.
Okay. It's only 1d6 because it's not flaming. Deal 2 damage to you. But I'm trying to do basically gambits. And...
Basically, how does Hamid react to this? And then we will...
He leaps at you.
Okay.
And gets 2 claw attacks.
It's all gone PvP!
They both miss.
Yeah, don't hit a 21.
I am going to cut to Sasha. So, I'm assuming that you're just on the stage unless you have any other plans.
She's ripping up pages while shouting for a producer.
This script's terrible!
Who wrote this? Needed stagehand or something. Someone that has access to, I don't know, healing that doesn't hurt. Just stumbling around drunkenly almost. Like,
Give me a
losing
perception
a
check.
lot of blood. Well, 19 plus 10.
You hear there's an argument happening outside, so that you have the main entrances to the stalls at the very, very back of the auditorium, and you can just hear what sounds like an argument on the other side of those doors.
Yep. Stumbles over and opens the door. I really need help. We've just saved...
I'm just telling you that we could just teleport the entire opera house somewhere. Problem solved. So you can see that Einstein is having an argument with Curie whilst Freud is looking on.
You guys that have been exactly no help so far. I don't know if you might be able to be a bit of help. Now, you see blood is pouring off her.
You're a mess.
Just out of her back where there's the falcon
Oh,
thing,
yeah, that'll be back.
That is where just raw, blood
Yeah.
seeping, it's coming out through the hole in her jacket. Her jacket isn't damaged, so it's just blood seeping from, the sleeves
gross.
and around her neck. And then, of course, her hand is basically a crushed stump. And she, shakes the bloody hand at them and is like, really? You haven't been any help so far. I got one guy dead. I got another one disappeared. I got an angry, grumpy sword. And I got nothing left. I got no fight in me, guys. You're really going to have to step up here.
And we'll take a break there and be back in a couple of minutes.
Why is my video buffering?
This takes so
This
long
download
to load.
is so
How can I
slow.
monitor the kids?
Why do I
Why
keep
is my
disconnecting?
screen
Why
so
do I
laggy?
Stop!
Home Wi-Fi can be very chaotic. Wouldn't you like to calm it down and keep your speed, whilst keeping everyone online wherever they are in your home?
Introducing Zen Wi-Fi from Asus, a whole home mesh network with future-proof Wi-Fi 6 speed that covers your home without the need for extenders or boosters and has complete control from an easy-to-use phone app.
Balance your home today. Find out more by visiting asus.co.uk/Zen Wi-Fi.
What makes your mum your mum?
Tea and biscuits. Never coffee and biscuits, always tea.
My mum never has the same nail colour. Last week, neon green.
She thinks music should only be listened to on vinyl.
Mine's obsessed with the smell of bookstores.
She loves fresh flowers, puts them in water and lemonade. Lemonade.
Every mum is special, so give her something that's as unique as she is, from a place that is too. Why not shop small with American Express for that extra special gift this Mother's Day? Search Shop Small.
And welcome back. So as Sasha finally tells, all of the most powerful mages possibly what she thinks of them, we'll jump back to Grizzop and Hamid. And for the sake of my sanity, we're going to skip ahead to you hog-tying Hamid because we are working off Hamid's close combat stats. So it's more a question of...
No, we're talking about he's great.
It's more a question
he
of
has
when
2 claws,
Hamid
guys.
gets completely defeated by the combat-focused character Paladin, who can also heal itself on the fly.
Only once more.
But nonetheless, yeah, I'm going to skip it.
That's going to be a problem given that you're essentially wrestling with a guinea pig.
So I guess I've got him over my back, trying to take him down, going,
Oh, for a small bugger, you sure are heavy.
So presuming you're making your way back towards the auditorium?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to cut to Sasha then. All of them go quiet, and Curie for once just goes quiet as well.
Alright, I mean, now Sasha might have been so exhausted and burned that her general shyness was just worn out, but now there's an awkward silence. So
It's a super awkward silence.
It all comes back. Yeah, so I think really need some help here. Just
Curie,
we got him, you know. We got him. He killed a woman, and he killed my
Colleague.
Acquaintance.
Yeah.
Acquaintance. He killed a guy that I worked with.
Curie comes forward and actually tries to put her hand around Sasha.
Oh, yeah, but she doesn't know that her entire back is raw.
No, she doesn't. Not at all.
Ah! Well, people, stop attacking me.
I'm guessing that you need a healer, yes?
Well, it's a bit more complicated than that.
Right. She turns. There's a muttered conversation between Einstein and Freud and Curie, and then Einstein, teleports away. Freud gives a nod and heads off, and then Curie's just there on her own and goes, I should probably have a look, shouldn't I? At the auditorium. I'm not a healer. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, this way.
She
Gestures.
heads in and casts a very critical eye over the disarray that is the auditorium. At which point, Grizzop, you manage to drag a hog-tied Hamid thing back into the auditorium.
Oh, sorry, Sasha, I got him. There he is.
All right, Hamid.
He's gone a bit wrong.
Hamid is unconscious at this point.
Hamid. I mean, he's not dead as well, is he?
No, he's fine.
He is.
Definitely got a bit of fight in him still.
He is scaly.
Yeah. Don't know what Kafka did to him. Oh, you. Yeah, you. The unhelpful woman. Check this out.
Sasha's
Curie.
gonna sink to the floor.
Curie comes over and casts a fairly formidable knowledge arcana. Arguably the most formidable knowledge arcana that you're ever going to encounter.
As we chat to her.
And rolls a 3!
Ah.
However, it's a sufficient modifier to at least have a solid idea of what's going on. She has a look. Has another look. My guess is... You see, it looks like it's just a simple case of a feeble-minded spell, something similar that would reduce the intelligence and the nuance of a person. Let's say their personality, but
Skip the end.
It's complicated.
He's done it before.
So I did announce that I was a sorcerer in the Wizarding Council Chamber.
I'm getting there. My guess is it's interacting with his heritage in some way. It's
And
quite
we fix
complex.
it by...
My guess is deal with the feeble-minded side, and it will probably end up solving the complication.
Right, gotta sort that out. That's some pretty serious stuff, but I
Or
reckon
maybe
we've
she
got some
shouldn't
people
say
who can do
dragon,
it.
But he is covered in fiery scales, so
Mythical.
the
Brassy.
crocodile bit, the brass crocodile.
So,
Also, do you know any necromancers? Apart from, obviously, well, you don't anymore.
yes, we do have it as an entire school at the university.
Right, I think one of them might need to check her out.
Ow.
Okay.
I tried to heal her. Went badly. That shouldn't happen on people who are alive.
I am going to now smash cut.
Sure.
Okay? We are back at the university.
Ow.
You are aware that Freud has been given the basically the job of handling the cleanup around the opera house, whilst Einstein, bouncing around with ridiculous amounts of teleports, is just checking around the city, and he's proving very useful at coordinating things. But Curie has come basically with you guys back to the university. As it stands, you are now back in that chamber that you were with when you were meeting them for the first time. Mm-hmm. Curie is there. and a healer.
Sasha's just leaving bloody footprints.
Oh yeah, you're a mess.
Really not stealthy.
So a healer has appeared to help Hamid, and a bunch of necromancers are here to try and deal with Sasha. The issue with the necromancers is you get the impression that for a while at least the department hasn't been very well run. So compared to like the gravitas and the style of everyone who's come before, one of them's like, oh, it's probably, artifacts, artifacts mischievous reversal. It's not going to be mischievous reversal because that wouldn't interact with it, would it? Well, it's not going to be David's claws, is it? And they're just chatting nonsense. They have no idea.
Sasha is lying down with a jacket off, so you can just see the fact that through her shirt, the fact it's all just
yeah.
Like she's just caking and like.
Hamid is conscious again. He did a lot of snarling and growling and scrabbling when he first woke up, but he's now kind of worn himself out because he's still tied up and he's just hissing occasionally.
Meanwhile, the healer that's dealing with Hamid has a conversation with Curie. They both sort of give a nod.
Ooh, was that a critical?
There was a critical fail in there.
Oh, God.
So, what effectively happens is the cleric effectively figures out what actually needs doing and casts the appropriate spell. There's a few that would work. In this case, I think it's just a standard heal, actually, but like a magical version. However, during the kerfuffle, Hamid manages to effectively break free and make a dash for the door kind of thing, and Curie just wearily blasts what's effectively a fireball at his back, pinning him to the wall. He flops back down. The cleric then comes over, finishes the job, and transforms him back to Hamid. Hamid, she's very good, and she deliberately cast it lower level than she could, but you've taken about...
I also have fire resistance.
Yeah, she cast about 4d6 worth of damage, which will be...
That was a 6, a 5, and a 6. 23 damage.
That's fine.
You took 23 damage from the lower than normal cast fireball.
Yeah. I have fire resistance 5. I take 18. That's about 2/3 of my hit points.
And then you are now back as Hamid. You have complete...
I'm unconscious again. I still had some non-lethal damage.
The cleric just kind of looks at Curie, goes... and then proceeds to heal you back up to full hit points. Meanwhile, one of the necromancers with Sasha's like, right, get out of the way. Right. This is either going to... I've got to warn you. This is either going to really hurt or make it all better, but it won't kill you. Huh?
Right, great. Just... I don't know if I have much blood left.
It's all right. I'm around. If he screws it up,
you'll kill him.
I'll murder him for you.
Kill him for me.
All right.
Right.
You're all right, you know.
Yeah, you are too. You got to have some. Anyway,
you're all right.
Do you have knowledge arcana at all?
Me,
Grizzop?
no.
Okay, fine. Basically, the necromancer goes and passes his hand across Sasha. Some green light filters out from his hand. From your perspective, Grizzop, you absolutely recognise that as necromancy. Nonetheless, Sasha, you feel ever so slightly better. Cool. At which point, the other, in fairness, you'd heal. Yes. At which point, the other necromancers go, right. They all start. It's quite uncomfortable for you, Grizzop, because there's like a lot of necromancy magic that's just been pumped in.
I mean, there's nothing inherently bad with necromancy.
All I mean is that what you are quite quickly becoming aware of is that they're repeatedly casting inflict serious wounds on Sasha.
Oh, so it's more like
negative energy.
It's really bad.
Yeah. However, Sasha, you get healed up to full, and you look all right. You look good. Maybe a little pale, but you're basically fine. Hamid, you are now conscious with it, and the first thing that you see is a cleric who just pats you on the shoulder, and then just walks out, leaving you with everyone else. You have fragmentary but generally complete memories of what your time as a sort of weird dragon was.
Happened.
Oh, should you tell him or should I?
Right. Sasha clambers up. You're gonna need to be sitting down. I mean, it went. Ow! It went about as badly as it could, Hamid.
There is a knock at the door.
Whoa, what happened? What
Sit
happened?
down.
There's another knock at the door.
I'll storm over and open it.
What?
A pair of really, really well-dressed gnomes are stood in the doorway.
Who on earth are you?
Like, really badly, Hamid.
Why are those people here?
Who are these people?
Where's Bertie?
Hamid, sit down. A hot drink. That's what they give people.
We
you
greatly
lawyers?
appreciate it if you would allow us entry into this room.
Well, I don't know you.
Look, we'll probably have to hear him out. All right.
All right.
So, someone get Hamid a hot drink, and me too, unless that will hurt me.
The gnomes are going to try and enter unless you physically stop them. Yeah, sure. So they head in and they end up. They just stand in the doorway. They don't really sit.
Tell you what. Yeah, I'll go get those hot drinks.
And I'm going to run off to a kitchen.
Sure.
The necromancer office faculty
Where's-
kitchen just things up that you don't have to be dead to work in, but it helps.
Hamid,
Where's Bertie?
I really recommend you sit down.
I'm fine.
Please, the gnomes gesture for the room. It is our sad duty to work through the remainder of Sir Bertrand's estate in the case of his demise.
What
Now,
happened?
Naturally,
Bertie's dead. What? How?
Well,
as far as we understand, it
turned
was
you into a dragon.
a severe suffocation casting. He will have died due to lack of air.
Oh my God, Bertie!
So as it stands, Sir Bertrand is of course demised. We understand that the sword is actually in your possession.
Well, I left it there, but I guess I own it.
We would ask if it was possible for you to hold on to it whilst we attempt to find the next of kin for that item.
All right, maybe would one of the people that was what did they do with Bertie's body?
So you can ask that. I can retrospect that into you asking Curie if you want.
Oi, Curie, where did Bertie's body and his stuff go?
As it is, he's currently being interred in the local chapter of... Actually, it was Artemis happened to be closest. He will remain in the crypt whilst they examine for any kind of necromantic complication. As it stands, he'll then be handed over to the MacGuffingham estate for burial at their cemetery.
Yep.
Yes.
So apparently I need to carry the sword around?
If you would be so kind as to do so, we would greatly appreciate it. However, if you do not wish to, we would be more than happy to take it off your hands.
I can't believe he's gone.
Well look, okay, I can have a chat with him. Maybe you can talk to Hamid, because I can't do
All
this.
right, I've got everyone coffee. It's instant, sorry, but I assumed you wanted some.
And I'll put down the 4 mugs in front of the lawyers as well.
Tiny mugs, they're espresso mugs for the gnomes.
Yes.
But they drink it as a normal strength of coffee.
Sasha takes one and hands it to Hamid really awkwardly.
Now, here's the thing. The gnomes have your will.
Yeah.
There are magical effects that would allow it to be read out in your voice if you want.
Oh.
Would you like to have your last will and testament read out to the room?
Yes. Okay, right.
So the gnomes, they, if you'll all excuse us for a moment, they open the letter, place it on the table, pass a hand over it, and then Bertie's voice speaks.
So I'm dictating now, am I? So everything I say now is going to be written down, and that's my last will and testament. Is that right? That is right. That is clever, isn't it? That's really quite something.
It's a very thick will.
That is tasteless.
So to whom it may concern, obviously if I'm dead, then it will be terribly sad for all of you. But you know, the thing that I would...
Sorry, for the listeners that no one can see us, Lydia and Ben just sharing a look, kind of a...
Hamid is genuinely sad.
Now, obviously, this will come as a great trauma to you, all the more so because it is totally unexpected, because let's be honest, I'm pretty good at fighting, at peril. The other day, I saw some peril, just hit it, just punched it right, it went down. That was, stay there, out of fear. Whoa! Take that, peril, I said.
Would anybody mind if we skip ahead a little bit?
I'm not bothered.
They pass their hand over the paper just a little bit to skip it ahead. Just a little bit. It's a very thick will.
That peril, that stayed down. Like it was definitely down by this point. Anyway, I digress. Tempting though it may be to follow me into the outer planes, wherever I go after death, who can say? No, I want you to stay here, stay living, stay strong, carry my memory of greatness forward. It'd be really sad, because it's a massive loss to all of you.
Hamid starts to cry, but quite gently.
Now, in terms of my personal effects and debts. Now, the debts is an issue, I won't lie. Now, obviously, as much as possible must be sold off to allay the debts of the old Botham estate.
We'll stop the will at this point. It's worth noting that almost the entirety of possessions have been reclaimed in order to start paying off some of that debt.
I'm gonna go get myself a coffee.
Very well. They pass their hand across the will. It resumes.
Now, I, of course, at the present time, have no male heir that I know of. Am I right, ladies? I'm definitely right. The whole idea sickens me. Now, however, I have decided that the mantle of the House of MacGuffingham shall pass upon my demise to this little dog I found recently. I see great things in him. You know, there's a certain spirit, a certain strength of character. I predict great things of that small dog. And so as such, I bestow upon him all the remains after the debts of the old Botham estate have been cleared, including my name. You were known as Brutor MacGuffingham. Sir Brutor MacGuffingham.
Is that the end of the word?
That's the end of the word.
All right, what I miss?
That's the
Can dogs inherit
magical contracts?
titles
Yes,
in
they
the
can.
British?
Just in case anybody is wondering, the Romans have still got their hand. Dogs can definitely inherit. I did look it up. Yeah.
Wait, hang on a minute. I went to get a coffee, and now a dog is Bertie. Wait, what's happening?
He's left everything to Brutor.
Who's Brutor?
He's a dog that attacked us once and stuck with us.
So, the gnomes take a moment, they fold up the will. With that in mind, obviously now that new information has come to light, we would greatly appreciate if you would hand over the sword of MacGuffingham, that it might be held to the next heir of the old Botham estate.
To Brutor?
Correct, yes.
Well, can I say, you absolutely have it, but on the grounds that I get to listen in when you manage to get the two of them together.
The whole time these gnomes have been deadpan and then just go, yes.
Right.
And then reach and take the sword.
I can't believe he's really gone.
It would appear that we have no more business here. We wish you all the best. And should you ever require the services of Harkness, Darkness, and Sphinx, of course, naturally, we would be there to serve you.
Right.
I really hope it never comes to that.
Yeah.
And, hey, Hamid, look, I know we haven't really met, that long ago, and Bertie's dead, but ultimately he died fighting a real dick. And honestly, that's probably the best death anyone can have if they're gonna die.
I suppose he went out as a hero.
Well, Hamid...
That's probably the best that could have been hoped for.
Right, Hamid. So, Sasha gets awkwardly to her feet and comes over to where Hamid is definitely sitting down. And
Still in his pants.
right, yeah. And you're drinking your hot drink, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He has
Hamid-
his third sip.
Hamid, right, so there's no way to say this well, and let's be honest, if there was a way, I wouldn't have it. But, like, your sister, the singer?
Aziza? Oh, yeah, where is she? What happened? She did the solo so well.
Hamid,
The gnomes step forward.
I'm sorry.
Should you require our services, in addition to our condolences, please do let us know. They then
What?
turn and leave.
She didn't make it, Hamid. That was, like, so, yeah, he...
What?
Kafka,
What do you mean? She didn't...
Kafka
She wasn't
had
there.
Kafka had a... And he made a... I don't think she suffered. I don't
Oh,
think
God! Oh, God! The mug drops from his hands and shatters on the floor, and Hamid follows it. He just collapses, and he is screaming wordlessly.
And I will end the episode there.
Just to say that the mug that Hamid drops, because it's in the necromancy faculty, it has world's best dead on it.
Oh, God! Oh, Jesus!
And on that cheerful note, bye!
Rusty Quill Gaming is a podcast distributed by rustyquill.com and licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial International License. Today's episode was recorded and produced by Alexander J. Newall. To comment on episodes, make donations, and view links, images, videos, and show notes, visit rustyquill.com. Rate and review us on iTunes. Visit us on Facebook. Tweet us on Twitter at The Rusty Quill, or email us at mail@rustyquill.com. Thanks for listening. What do you bequeath to who?
What do I bequeath to who?
Or whom?
To whom does one bequeath? Let's have a look.
You can't bequeath debts.
No, I know.
Don't even try.
The debts are inherited by the estate, technically.
Oh, yes, but he doesn't get to bequeath
Yeah,
them.
he tries to bequeath all his debts
To Zolfile.
No, sure, he'd bequeath them all to...
Zolfile bequeath a letter with a middle finger drawn.